Hello, my name is Jessica Brady, and I would like to talk to you about an ethical dilemma that I find with secondary reading scores. And as an English teacher, I question, should English teachers take all of the credit for the scores produced by these tests that measures literacy skills in all content areas? Each year, school districts around the nation administer state standardized tests measuring various content areas. Some of these tests include the ISASP, Smarter Balance, ACT, and SAT. Each of these assessments includes a test specific to reading skills. Now, when we look at the secondary English class, most people often relate it to skills like reading, writing, and speaking, as these are the most common types of skills worked on throughout the year. I know that they are in my class, but this English teacher is asking if the English teacher is the only one responsible for the scores on these standardized tests, or are there other teachers who also contribute to the literacy skills of students at the secondary level? Let's first think about the types of reading done in the academic setting from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Fictional literature, plays, dramas, poetry, law-related reading, current events, news articles, research and social studies and science, science journals, mathematical equations, word problems, and even the founding documents of the United States in government class. So in thinking of all of the types of reading and genres out there, let's think about the amount of time a secondary student spends in the English class each day compared with all other content areas. In a 7-period day, each class meets maybe 45 to 50 minutes a day. If reading is only covered in the English class, what are students doing in their other content area classes? A typical English class covers the following: literature, fictional and nonfiction, poetry, speeches, types of writing like narrative, expository, and argumentative, grammar, punctuation, spelling, vocabulary, and also dramas and plays. People who typically earn an English degree look for careers in writing, editing, publishing, teaching, marketing, journalism, public relations. The specialties of the English classroom prepare students for jobs in these specific areas. The umbrella of social studies, however, covers a variety of areas, including history, civics, economics, personal finance, archaeology, sociology, psychology, geography. These are all areas that students should be also working on their reading skills. And I believe we should be boosting teachers to help them with their curriculum in this area. This area prepares students for careers like psychiatrists, sociologists, researchers, politicians, geographers, paleontologists, lawyers, judges, historians, and more. Wouldn't it be great if students were prepared to read social studies materials as if they were going for these types of professions? Another area is the science content. This is another area that covers a broad spectrum with biology, chemistry, astronomy, earth sciences, archaeology, physics, engineering, and most of these categories can be broken down even further to subcategories. Reading in this content area prepares students for jobs such as nurses, doctors, medical technicians, veterinarians, pharmacists, medical researchers, scientific researchers, engineers, and more. If students were reading science-related material like these professionals, how much better might they do on these reading skills tests? Now, mathematics. Mathematics is the only type of reading that is its own type of reading. In this area, students are asked to read mathematical equations, geometrical shapes, graphs, calculators, and other computing devices. This area is one that is completely unable to be covered by the English class in any capacity. Students who major in math discipline tend to find careers as accountants, financial advisors, statisticians, actuaries, data analysis, teachers, and more. If a reading test prompt involves mathematical thinking to completely comprehend the situation, wouldn't it be beneficial for students to have experience in those areas? Reading in the disciplines increases background knowledge, which researchers agree plays a pivotal role in reading comprehension. They learn content-specific vocabulary, strategies for working and processing information. They also read specific types of articles, books, journals, and other texts that are specific to those content areas. In 1987, two researchers conducted an experiment where 64 students read a play about baseball and then simulated the game, moving figurines around a mock field. They discovered that prior knowledge of baseball had a greater impact on the scores, and that students with weak abilities also scored well if they knew baseball. Standardized tests like the ACT may not test about baseball, but they do have reading passages that test over content, specific topics in science, humanities, and social studies, as well as literature. So let's think about it. If students are expected to read and test over texts involving content from more than just the English classroom, wouldn't it make sense to have students working on reading skills in all the other areas too? I believe this is a place where professional development can really boost the literacy skills and the teaching strategies for teachers as well. How would reading scores look if reading tests were taken by students with solid background knowledge in all content areas? What if these texts were taken by students who read them with the lenses of future doctors, lawyers, historians, editors, publishers, psychiatrists, and more? I believe that with this in mind, we really need to step back and think, who takes responsible for the reading scores? Should it be the English teachers, or should it be all content areas who hold responsibility for their part in background knowledge and reading skill building? I believe we are better together. Thank you.